Time to wake up. 70 degrees out there. I'm glad we're back. It seemed to be the longest weekend of my life. JC?
Not near. You just think that was a long weekend. Wait till this one. Somebody's got a birthday to celebrate. It's football season. Woohoo! And join me today, birthday boy Tom McAllister, State Representative Dan Williams. Good morning, boys.
Good morning.
Good to have y'all in here. Dan, I'd like to have a piece of that cake, Tom's, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he should have brought some.
I got some out the car. Up here.
It had an Auburn emblem on it.
Yeah, probably. Knowing Mac. Anyway, good morning. I'm Jamie Cooper. Thank y'all for getting up with us. This is Athens in the AM. As Gloria just said, it was a long weekend, but not near as long as the one about to come up as we celebrate Labor Day weekend, traditionally the end of summer and the kickoff of football season. So all that's coming your way. And do not forget, let me plug it right now, Mr. Brian Terry. You're sitting in here texting on the phone this morning. Frank, 230-4988. Coming up this Thursday. It's my birthday, and you know what that means. A week-long celebration for me and Gloria, but we'll be cooking out, tailgating this Thursday morning. Jimmy Smith, Austin's going to have some trucks up here. Jeff Jawjacker Matthews going to be cooking out in the parking lot. We're going to have some LSU crap outside, probably some Auburn stuff, and Roll Tide stuff, because football gets a cranking. And Mark McCarter did a great article in Huntsville Times, too. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Lots of things to do. Don't forget to vote today. We'll talk about that in just a moment, too. We'll talk with Representative Dan Williams about this referendum coming up on September 18th, I believe, Dan. He's going to tell us why we got to vote yes on that, or lots of stuff might get shut down, possibly. But Dan did a great job explaining that at the Senior Center last week, too, where Tom and I paid a visit up there with State Senator Holtzfall, also explained that. Let's get it cranking on this Tuesday morning edition of Cooper Coming Live. Here's Gloria with the weather, because I think the rain's going to hold off for another day or two, ain't it?
Possibly. We may see a shower this afternoon around 3, 4 o'clock. That's when the greatest chance of rain is, but 70 degrees out there right now, and it's not going to be a bad day. Get out and lay out if you can. Enjoy some sunshine. We're going to see temperatures around 88 today, with, of course, the rain moving in, a little cooler temperatures anyway. Low temperatures of 68. Like I said, 30% chance of showers today, but possibly not until later this afternoon when that rain moves in. Tomorrow, still 30% chance of rain. It looks like the greatest part of rain is going to hit us on Thursday, when we're going to see those isolated thunderstorms carried on into Friday and even possibly Saturday morning, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a rained out Labor Day weekend, but we will see some showers at least Saturday, but Sunday looks okay so far. 230-4988 gets free.
Happy birthday, Tom.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Dan. And it ain't even your birthday.
You missed my birthday in June.
Yeah, well, you won't miss mine. It's Thursday. August 30th, always the kickoff of football season.
That's right.
Hey, don't forget valid votes today. All municipal elections from Huntsville, Moulton, Decatur, Florence, all around over in all those places. And I've even got a story out of a candidate from Florence running, Tom, that her ex-husband has accused her of bigamy. I'll talk about that, and I'll do the news in just a little bit. I don't think we got to worry about that today here in the city of Athens, but we'll talk about that. Poll 7-7 today. So, Wayne, that's Wayne Harper's ad comes up there, but Dan, I got to ask you, ex-mayor, how long were you mayor? 4 or 5 terms?
5. I was elected the 5th time.
5th time. So what are you going to do today? I mean, you're not running. You ain't going to vote for yourself.
I'm going to vote, and you know, I may go up tonight and watch the returns with everybody at City Hall.
Is that going to be a weird feeling for you today?
Yeah, when it's the first time in many years that I hadn't been involved in that, but it's a good feeling to sit back during the summer and watch everybody else out trying to glean the votes, and you don't have to be out there at that time. But I tell you what, I always admire anybody that runs. And
you're talking to an ex-politician?
Well,
he ran
I wish you would have had a chance to find out how many friends you have.
Hey, I found out in a hurry how many I didn't have. I tell you that. Well, you don't have to worry about rolling in a ditch.
You gave it a good shot.
You don't have to worry about rolling in a ditch or anything this year.
No, I didn't fall or anything. You know, it's
we'll talk more about that in just a little bit.
To run for office.
All right, let's talk about, hey, in the Decatur Daily this morning, got a tailgating party down at Athens First United Methodist Church. Who's at number 2? Oh, man, Tom, have you not been able to convert little Mac McAllister yet? Look at it.
Apparently not.
Yeah, his picture in the Decatur Daily this morning. Let me give that to you and have Mac autograph it.
All right.
So get that ready. Hey, y'all know the other day I told you that the collegiate licensing authority out of Atlanta tried to shut down this bakery in Tuscaloosa. Well, they've offered an apology. The University of Alabama has apologized to a local baker who received a letter threatening legal action because some of her hand-decorated cakes and cookies carried university-related logos. They've apologized to say that's the wrong one. They say that she'll be we'll talk about that with Jimmy Gill when he gets in there. Wake up, Brad. Tuscaloosa News reported that officials said the letter was not consistent with protocol normally followed by a university involving local businesses and trademark issues. So they're going to let her slide for a little bit. Let her slide for a little bit right there. Bakery told to stop making treats with logos, huh?
So she'll continue?
Now, I guess she's going to be able to keep going.
Good.
Hey, one of the best articles over the weekend that I read was my buddy Mark McAllister with the Huntsville Times. He said it ain't the excitement that football season is starting, it's the excitement that the off-field non-football season has ended. Because if you're a football fan, you know what he's talking about. He says here, it's not that the college football season is starting, it's that the off-season is ending. That's the biggest reason for celebration. And I agree with him. Has there been an off-season with so much turmoil? Think about it. When have we had so many players get dismissed? And then, of course, the lead story's got to be the ugly Penn State scandal, which continues to spread its toxic fallout. I mean, in your lifetime, Dan, do you ever remember anything worse happening to college football?
No, and I think it sort of shows the importance that people hold collegiate football in this nation. It's a complete industry, and it occupies the people's minds and everything about it. How many things have you seen women get involved in, like college football?
Oh,
I mean, a few years ago, you didn't think of that, but women are probably the best fans and probably the most fans.
The only and I can't believe this stat here. I can believe the part they say the NFL is the #1 sport in America, but they say that college football sports is tied with Major League Baseball for second place.
Really? No.
Well, it may be in attendance, but not in enthusiasm.
Well, I tell you what, speaking of baseball, did y'all see the game between California and Tennessee the other day, the Little League World Series?
Cute.
They had them 15-5, Tennessee did, going into the bottom of the 6th inning. And, it's over. California scores 10 runs, makes it 15-15. They go to the 7th inning. We were watching on ESPN. They score another 9 runs, Tennessee does, and go back up 9.
Tennessee
won. Tennessee won, but they got beat by Japan or somebody later on. But, hey, here's what else happened in college football. Y'all remember Bobby Petrino? Yes. Says here, Arkansas coach Bobby Petrino had a wreck on his Harley Davidson. Skinned knees and dented bike proved the least of his worries. Yep. And then, Michael Dyer, Auburn lost him. Georgia lost Isaiah Crowell. And, of course, Auburn, we'll talk more about that later. They lost their starting center, got drunk on campus, public intoxication.
LSU lost.
Yeah, and then the Honey Badger. It's going to be, but let me talk one more little quick story on football. Saban hates prediction, but Tide should win it all. How many times have I told y'all this before? I'm predicting, Dan, Alabama will win yet another national championship.
You say that every year.
I know, but I've been right 2 of the last 3. So that stands for something, don't it?
Luck.
Well, the national championship has been in Alabama 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't hardly go wrong with that. And then this guy here goes on to say, no matter what Saban is, my prediction is the Tide will go 12-0 and earn another chance to go to the BCS championship. So
you probably got better percentage than Jimmy the Great did.
Yeah,
probably.
Well, we all know what happened to him. Hey, Dan, you're not going to the Republican convention, are you?
Oh, no.
Mo's going, isn't he?
I probably.
I've got an article sent. I know Governor Bentley's not going because of the hurricane warnings. I got to try to get in touch with Papa Rocco this morning to see if he's had to shut down on anything. But it says here, 315 million people live in the United States, surpassed 200 million back in '68. We surpassed 300 million in '06. Dan, you ain't average. Tom, you ain't average. And I'm 1 pound below average. 196 pounds is the average weight of men in the U.S., up 16 pounds since 1990.
Chubbo.
And you, Chubbo, the average woman weighs 160 pounds.
I'm below average.
Yeah, way below.
How about that?
91 cents a gallon for gas is what we paid during Bill Clinton's administration 13 years ago. Today, the average is $3.74, and I'll do another thing in a moment. It says because of Isaac, we'll go up another 10 to 20%. 64 texts per day from teenagers. Found average cell phone users sending 13 per day. Yet the good news is 14% decline in credit card debt. All except for Cooper and Company. Country not quite the same as it was 4 years ago.
What did they say about, I don't believe that about gasoline.
Going
That's
up?
what they're saying.
That's what they're saying.
What did he say?
That Clinton, it was during Clinton's presidency, right now it was 91 cents a gallon.
That wasn't that long
13
ago.
years ago?
13 years ago.
91
Yes, it
cents.
was.
That's what it says. I'm not making it up, Dan. Believe me. If there was a way I could, you know.
What paper is that from?
Out of Decatur Daily Sunday.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
I think the paper's making a
They're
mistake.
going to be writing about you.
Sure, that's
Yeah.
okay. That's all right, sure.
Between 2000 and 2010, the population of people ages 45 to 64 grew close to 1/3 of the baby boomer generation. So anyway, Dan, thanks for throwing that out. They'll probably give you a call later this morning to check in with you, to check in with you.
Yeah.
Do a nice little article.
All right, a couple other things here this morning. Larry King, y'all remember Larry King? I interviewed Larry King down in Atlanta many years ago.
Nice guy.
He was supposed to be the biggest jerk on earth. The guy was treating me with so much respect, I'm sure I need to have him on my speed dial. Larry King's back in business at 78. He's kind of like I am. It says right here, Dan, he's back on TV on the internet now doing a show. But he says here, his wife does his emails for him. He does not text. He does text. He doesn't do any email, doesn't even turn the computer on. And when I ask him about the presidential race, he says no preference.
Yeah.
That's
stays out of
unusual.
it.
How many wives have he had?
Yeah, he just says, I'm not a gadget man. So
Probably as many as Jamie.
He's had a few wives, hasn't he?
thanks for bringing that up, Dan. What are you trying to get personal?
I wondered about Larry King.
Yeah, well, you tried to get personal this morning? Huh?
I wouldn't do that.
What else you want to know, Dan?
You can tell this is all season of running for representative.
Yeah, it is. But Dan's always kind of been like that. All right, y'all know who Joe Walsh is. He's the guy with the Eagles, right? He's got a new album coming out, and it's called Analog something. It's called Analog Man.
That
In
would be you.
1978, Life's Been Good. Joe Walsh mocked rock stardom as an endless buffet of excess, and the party's over now, it says. Now he's singing about sobriety, family unity, and gratitude on Analog Man, his first solo album in 20 years. It's no joke that life's been very good for him. Now he's a teetotaler, happy married, and takes stuff a little bit more serious now. But the number one thing, y'all know we talked about musicians the other day in a Dear Abby thing. This girl, her boyfriend didn't want to get, all he wanted to do was bum off her, and he lived with his parents, and he'd go back over there. Here's a quote from Joe Walsh, guys. He said, all I can say is if you're a musician, go out and play in front of people. You can't be a legend in your parents' garage. How many of y'all does that relate to?
Too many.
Joseph, you play a guitar? Yeah, okay. Joseph Cannon stopping by this morning. We're going to talk a lot about that in just a little bit. But anyway, I just wanted to throw all that thing out. Dan, we're going to talk about this Medicaid stuff and all that, how we could be in trouble for that in a little bit, because I know you know all about that. And when y'all go back to work?
Well, the next session is scheduled for February. There's a possibility, depending upon the outcome of this referendum on September 18th, there could be a special session called between that vote and October 1st, but that remains to be seen.
Yeah.
Shall see.
All right, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. The election is today, 7 to 7. Go ahead, urge everybody to go out and vote. And be the first
Candidates
time
will
you
be
ain't voting for
stopping
yourself.
by.
Yeah.
Ooh, who will he
Who you
vote
voting
for?
Well, I don't know. I don't have but like 2 votes.
Well, that's all we all got, isn't it?
That's
2
all we
votes,
all
your
got,
councilman,
yeah.
and
Mayor.
and Harold Wells' district, and Jimmy Gill's. You don't even get to
They
vote
won.
for them, do you?
Yeah. Well, no, somebody's got to vote, don't they, for them to be elected?
Are they on the ballot?
No, they're not on the ballot.
They're not on it?
If
They
you run
already won.
unopposed, your name doesn't show up on the ballot. You're automatically elected.
Why don't y'all just write me in for mayor today?
You
No.
can't write in this election.
You can't?
No write-ins, yeah.
I'm
Screw it
voting
in.
for Ronnie.
Yep.
Hey, all right, we're going to talk with Dan in depth and a little bit later on this morning. We got some
Good
other
at
folks
that.
stopping by as we get out to vote today. Glory's got some special guests. You're watching Cooper Company Live on the TVT Morning Edition. We get ready for football. Don't forget. Oh, I got some. Oh, not the big news is.
Stop the press.
Big news. I am going to put the Kitty Carnival out of business. After they told me how much money they made and gave it to donations, which they do a great cause. Little Maddie turned 3 months old. Guess what I bought? Here's a picture of it. I saw it on Highway 72 in Rogersville. A Ferris wheel. Gonna be Cooper's Carnival right there, and I'm gonna
the backyard.
You know that thing works with an extension. You just plug it into a 110. It's got 6 buckets.
Let's go get it.
I'm thinking I'm gonna pull it.
Washing machine motor in it.
I'm gonna pull it behind the Hummer. I don't know what the age limit on it to get in it is.
Tom, what's our liability?
But, and I've got my what's liability on that thing, Tom? You're my insurance man.
We may not get it.
We have to look at that.
I've got that hot dog roller that Rick Moe won. We're gonna be making hot dogs in the parking lot.
You got to figure it out.
I'm looking for a magician, some other rides. And also Saturday, we ran into Dennis Holman, went to our grandson's football game over at Dennis Holman Stadium. Just happened to run into Dennis. Here's a shot of him. That's him on the left. That's me on the right.
Look,
that's
the only
Kate in the middle.
linebacker.
Huh?
The only linebacker in the family.
We got that picture up there. That's Gloria on the left. Dennis. If y'all watched the program yesterday, Off the Cuff with Dennis Holman ran. One of the all-time greatest guys you'll ever meet. We'll take a break. I'll come back and do a little bit of news in a moment. Cooper's Carnival, we're taking up a donation.
No.
On the weekends, I'm going to run it down here in the parking lot.
You mean you're going to work on a
outhouse
weekend?
with Gerald Young to use as a bathroom.
You're going to work on a weekend?
Well, just during the daylight, early morning hour. I'll take Abby can run it the rest of the time. We'll take a break. Be right. If y'all got a ride we need, let me know. I get some animals up here, goats, donkeys.
No.
Frank be in charge of them. We'll have cow milking, goat milking. We'll just have a regular fair going on here.
Let's do it.
Take a break. Be right back. Y'all hang on.
And we are back on this non-rainy, so far Tuesday morning, 70 degrees outside. Temperatures today around 88. We do have 30% chance of showers, but not until 3 p.m. or 4 o'clock should you possibly see a pop-up shower. Tomorrow, 30% is still your chance for those showers, as well as those highs around 88, 87. And then the biggest portion, or the biggest part of rain to come in will be Thursday, carried on into Friday. And it looks like we may see a few storms in the morning on Saturday. Things should clear up and not be just a rainy Labor Day weekend. All right, 230-4988 is the number here. You can give Frank a call. We're going to be talking about a benefit that Forrest is going to tell us all about. And Mark, you're up here as well. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Good. Well, tell me about the benefit you guys have going on.
Well, we're representing Bucks Art Expo in Priceville, and we're both artists there, and we have paired up with Alabama Credit Union to raise money for Secret Meals. Which is
what exactly is Secret Meals?
It's a program to feed children in school.
Okay.
Kids have lunches at school through the week, but on the weekend a lot of kids don't have any food. They go home, they don't get regular meals. And so this program...
Is that just hard to believe here in, Priceville?
It is. Well, it's hard to believe in America that there's that much hunger around. And so the program puts packets of food in the kids' backpacks so they can have food over the weekend.
That is just heartbreaking. That's just so hard to believe. Especially, So, the local schools, they're doing them right here?
Yes, yeah.
That is stunning.
And they don't, the way they do it, they just put the food in the kids' backpacks and
they take it home
and have something to eat. Yeah.
Well, my goodness. Well, how can people help?
Well, we have a silent auction going on this week, and until the end of the month, actually, until the end of this week. We've donated art to the Alabama Credit Union, and in the branches of the Alabama Credit Union, the art is on display. Anyone can go in, make a bid. Great. And then on Friday evening, we've got a program at Bucks Art Expo, and we'll find out who the winners are for the art, and we've got an event for the evening. There's food, there's activities going on, and also part of the sale of art that night is going to be donated to the program. Where will this take place? Bucks Art Expo, 660, 660 Highway 67 in Priceville. In Priceville. Yeah. Great. Well, he said you were an artist as well. Yes. So you'll have some of your artwork displayed? Yes. Now, is this all the credit unions are all around, or is this just locally here? North Alabama. All of North Alabama? Yeah. Okay. Well, great. And I'm assuming that all of the art, large, small, ranges in prices, so yes. Everyone can do whatever.
There's no reserve, so whatever they highest price is, gets it.
Now, do you guys get to go and actually see the children, or no? The organization takes care of all that? They look after all of that. Okay. Yeah. Well, if you can't get to one of the credit unions, how can people make a donation? Just contact to go to one of the Alabama credit
One of the
unions?
Alabama credit unions.
Or
and
Bucks or Kindred
Bucks?
Spirits.
Yes.
Kindred Spirits also here in
Yes.
Athens. I know
Yeah.
that they recently had a art display and things for sale too.
Yeah,
Oh, wonderful.
and they're involved in this.
Okay. How can people get in touch with you guys? How can they reach you?
How can they reach us? Well, they can come into the gallery.
Okay.
And
That's probably the easiest way?
yeah, that's the easiest way. We're open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 6, and
Good.
always.
BucksArtExpo.com.
That's great too. If you didn't have an opportunity to write that down, you can always email us, ztv@jamiecooper.com. Anything else you guys want to add? Just get out there, buy some art, and
Yeah, just
help
support
these
the kids. Yeah.
Wow, that's still stunning to me, believe that, but thanks for bringing that to our attention. All right, well, we are going to take a quick break. Politic Heaven coming up next. They're all here. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
On a Tuesday morning edition of Cooper Company Live, Election Day. Get out and vote today. Don't vote for me. You can't. Dan just told me you can't do a write-in, but I appreciate
Don't
the
waste your
support
vote.
anyway. Yeah, and my political career was short-lived. So you're not going to be able to vote for yourself today for mayor.
That'll be the first time in a long time, but
20 years.
It does feel good not not to have to go through all the drama of the vote and waiting, and this is a long day for people who's running for office. And it'll be a big relief tomorrow.
Tonight.
You know, some will be happy and some not, but you know they've done the good fight. So,
But you don't know what it's like to be on the losing end.
well, not yet. But there's a lot of hard work involved in a political race. You've got to see as many people as you can see. People like that personal touch. You've got to have some kind of strategy, some kind of platform. And you got to try to get it over to the people. And one thing I think all these guys that's running have found, there's not enough forums and opportunities for people who are seeking office to really get the chance to talk to people and talk to large numbers of people to get their message across.
But how can somebody like when Chuck ran against you, Yankura? I never even saw him. Not one time did he ever knock on our door here at the TV station or anything, and then he just faded. I never even saw him out anywhere.
Well,
That's
Chuck
right.
had Chuck told me many years ago he was going to move to Athens and run against me.
Is he still
And
here?
He did. I think so. I hadn't seen him since 4 years ago. And I like Chuck. Chuck and I were friends, but I hadn't seen him since the election. Chuck depended upon signs. I called him the sign man, and a lot of people take too much emphasis or put too much emphasis on some things like that, signs, and they think if they see a sign somewhere somebody's for them. But I reckon the best thing to say is signs don't vote, and people find out who they like.
That's funny you should say that. It's like Henry, when Henry ran against you, Henry was former city council too. I ran into Randy. Randy and I used to go to college together. I ran into Randy Jim one day. He said, "Man, if everybody had voted for Henry, it told him when he'd been president."
Well, that's one thing you have to sort of temper.
You're not saying people might deceive you a little bit.
Well, now everybody, it's hard for somebody to say, "Hey, I'm not going to vote for you."
Yeah, I guess
And a lot of times when you talk with someone and they wish you well, you think that's a vote, but it's not. And
Good
I didn't
point.
get that far, Dan, but all right, let's talk about Dan coming up on the 18th. You and Senator Hochul did a great job the other day at the senior center down on Pryor Street. This referendum, how big a deal is this thing coming up on the 18th for voters, for the Alabama, the citizens of Alabama? How big a deal is this?
well, it's a big deal because the budget, the general fund budget, Alabama has two budgets, the Education Trust Fund and then the general fund. And the Education Trust Fund has all of the good taxes, the taxes that have a tendency to grow and become stronger over the years. All those are earmarked and dedicated to the Education Trust Fund. Everything that's left over goes to the general fund. And it's not it doesn't grow like that. So the general fund has been behind for years and years, and for the foreseeable future, it's going to stay that way. Now, the big problem with the general fund is Medicaid and prisons.
So Medicaid right here is in deep trouble if it's not voted yes on the 18th.
Well, there's prisons are in trouble, Medicaid is in trouble. Everything within the general fund budget has the possibility of being in trouble. Now the big problem with Medicaid is we don't have adequate funding for Medicaid now. And when the new health care programs, the federal health care programs comes in, there's a possibility that 400,000 or more will be added to that Medicaid roll. And we can't pay for what we got now. When you look at Medicaid, 47% of all the children in Alabama are on Medicaid.
How many?
47% of all children in the state of Alabama receive Medicaid benefits.
Wow.
Half of all the births in Alabama every year are paid for by Medicaid. Most people who are in the nursing home that's being paid for by Medicaid. All of your rural hospitals, your smaller hospitals, many of your physicians' practices depend a great deal upon Medicaid. And if Medicaid is severely cut, then there's going to be a bad fallout from that.
Now, we're going to be letting prisoners out too if this doesn't get...
Well, I don't know that prisoners will be let out, but prisons right now are just operating on a tightrope. Probably Limestone County Prison here, the Capshaw Prison, is one of the best operated prisons in the state. We have around 2,400 prisoners here in Limestone County. We have all the aged prisoners in the state of Alabama here, and it's a tremendous cost to keep those up. And statewide, we have 31,000 people behind bars. And we're paying every day for that, and we don't have enough personnel to take care of that.
State Health Officer Don Williamson has said if the amendment fails, Medicaid will have a minimum $100 million shortfall. He calls an uncontrollable train wreck. Officials have said prison inmates will be released, nursing homes closed, state troopers taken off state's highways, and there will be fewer social workers to protect abused and neglected children.
Well, here's your problem.
Is that scary?
It is scary,
Yes.
but here's your problem with this referendum. This referendum on September the 18th, if it passes, the money that they want to take from the Alabama Trust Fund and put into the budgets for the next 3 years, $147 million a year, which is almost $500 million, is money that the Education Trust Fund is paying back to the Alabama Trust Fund. And if this referendum passes, the money they're paying back will just be diverted to the general fund. It won't go back into the Alabama Trust Fund. The Alabama Trust Fund is the oil and gas lease monies that the state receives for the oil that's being taken out of the Gulf. Now those funds are declining every year right now. There's about $2.5 billion in that trust fund, and the interest that fund was set up back, I think, under Bob James to draw interest, and the interest goes to the state, and a lot of the interest comes down to the city of Athens, Limestone County. It goes to the municipalities and counties. So if that money is diverted from the trust fund, the amount of interest will continue to shrink too, and that's going to fall down to Mayor Marks and the city council is going to have to look at what are they going to do.
Why would we vote no on? We got no choice.
Well, the big problem with the September 18th referendum is it doesn't have a payback clause to it. We're talking about voting to take $147 million a year for the next 3 years, which is right at $450 million, but it's not required to be paid back. And if it's not paid back, it's going to really hurt the Alabama.
So what do you
Trust
suggest?
Fund.
You are representative.
Goodness.
Well, what should have been done is a payback clause put in it before. Now,
But we can't fix what we're already going to be voting
what
on.
do we do on the 18th?
What do you recommend?
From all indications, the groups that I've talked to, it won't pass. Most of the people that I've talked to said they won't vote for it. Now, I think it will be dependent upon the turnout. I don't think that it will be a heavy turnout because that's the only thing that's on the ballot. We're going to have the city elections today. That'll be done. We don't have the federal elections coming up until November.
Right.
So right in the middle of September the 18th, we stick a one-issue thing on the ballot. And that's strategy, I think.
Yeah, because it would make way too much sense for everybody to vote at a regular day to vote, and that costs a whole lot more money.
So I think if it's a very light turnout, it has a chance of passing. I think if it's a heavy turnout, it won't, because I think so many people are against it. The problem is the budget has got to be fixed, and this is just an option. It's not the only option we have. The governor, if this thing doesn't pass, he's got to come up with another plan. Now, he may have to call the legislature back into session or whatever, but there's going to be cuts or whatever.
Do you want it to pass?
If this passes, in 3 years, you got the same problem, the exact same
We'll have
problem.
to get you back up here when we got more time to spend on that. Right now, I got some other folks in here. City Council met last night. I got to get them up here and get out and vote today, Dan.
Vote today.
All right, thank you. We'll get you back
7
up
o'clock, I think.
Yeah,
7 o'clock open.
Well, take a break. When we come back, the mayor's in here too this morning. City Council Jimmy, what's your name, Jimmy Gill? Yeah.
He won.
Y'all, Jimmy's still taking donations for his city council.
He's not.
We'll take a break. Be right back. Y'all hang on. And hold it down, Mayor. We're over here working a little bit this morning. My old buddy Brian Terry in here this morning. You headed to Dallas?
Yes, sir.
After the election.
After the election.
Joseph Cannon here too this morning. Joseph, thanks for those tomatoes. Were delicious, man. You might ought to get into farming. Why do you want to be city council in Athens?
Because I know I can do a darn good job at it. And we can get a lot of stuff done. And just kind of get our community just good together. District 4, just really transparent and just catch a lot of good ideas from a lot of folks.
Need some young. You know, Jimmy Gill's the youngest man on city council.
Yes, sir.
Now, Brian, you used to be, when we first moved, you were a city council.
That's correct.
Yeah, years ago. So why do you want to be back into that?
Well, I think it's one reason. I love the city of Athens and I love the citizens.
Now, you're in District
5.
District 5, which is a pretty big district.
It's a big district. It goes from the extreme northern boundaries of the city all the way down to Athens Middle School.
Yeah, both of y'all. It's good to have a bunch of Roll Tide fans up here today. And you're not going to Dallas, are you, Joseph?
No, sir.
So you're going to be like me. You're going to stay home and watch it on TV. Anything else? Your first campaign, how was it?
A learning experience, but a good one.
Well, good luck today to people go out and vote at 7. And you too, Mr. Terry?
Yes, I want everybody to go out and vote, and I appreciate your vote for Brian K. Terry for District 5.
What's that K stand for?
Keith.
Oh, old
Gets
Brian
everybody's
Keith.
attention when you say K. They
Joseph
always-
Allen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, all right, y'all get out and vote. Thank y'all for coming up today.
Thank you.
Good luck.
We appreciate it.
Roll Tide, boys. All right, let's go to Athens today right now, and we'll talk with the mayor and city council president in just a moment. Y'all hang on. It's always a pleasure to have City Council President Jimmy Gill up here and the Mayor Ronnie Marks up here. Thanks for signing off on that new carnival I'm opening up over here. Boy, that'll be doing good. Say, show me a picture of that Ferris wheel where Jimmy can see it, Brad, if you can find it. Yeah, we bought this thing in Rogersville the other day. Look at it, Jimmy. It's on a plug.
Yeah.
Huh? What do you think?
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
We did not
Pull behind the
buy
truck.
it.
Pull behind the truck, just plug it in. I don't know if you got to have a license to operate that thing, do you?
Now, we'll give you a special permit. For
Special permit.
You're gonna
Hey,
need
speaking of
something
special
special.
permits, I saw where the Grease Festival asked for a one-time deal about drinking, and don't turn it into a drunken fest down that way. But are they going to get the? They'll get the license. won't
Yeah, yeah.
It'll be contained.
You have to have something to wash that grease down.
they? Yeah, yeah. You can say stuff like that because you ain't running.
That's the only reason he said
What
it.
happened last night in the city council meeting? Anything?
We had a few public hearings and basically the general business last night.
So it's just kind of a short meeting, everybody getting ready for the big election?
Yeah.
Well, what's it like not having to campaign?
It's pretty rough. But I like it.
You like it? I guess so. Anybody would like it.
Yeah.
All right, Mayor, your first election.
First election as mayor. Yeah, it's been
How's
fun.
it been? Really, Ronnie, how has it been?
It's been really a lot of fun. Of course, I've been working, Dan and I have been working together for many years. I've been on the city council since 2004, but it's a little different when you're campaigning citywide as running for mayor for the first time, and it's been quite interesting, and I'll be glad when today at 7 o'clock is over, and it'll be, I encourage everybody to get out and vote. I posted a little web page this morning at about 5 a.m., so I'm excited about it and look forward to another 4 years. We got a lot going on.
Well, how will you spend today, a day of the election?
I'm going to work for a while, and we've got a couple of meetings going on, and it's just a lot going on, and I don't intend to stop just because it's election day.
How will the results be determined tonight, and where all does that take place?
Okay, we will be at the police station on Hobbs Street where we hold city council meetings. The voters poll closes at 7 p.m. I believe that by 7:30 usually all the results will be in. At least by 7:45 we should know the results to all the election. We'll have everything set up there for the media, anybody else that wants to set up, and then I'm going to just do a little celebrating and relax a while.
Well, I guess so. Well, congratulations on getting re-elected for another 4 years.
The fat lady hadn't sung yet. Y'all get out and vote.
Well, I'm voting. You got my vote. You got her vote, probably. Jimmy, let's talk about this weekend. Panther Pride returns for biannual reunion. I was there two years ago. I think we had
biannual.
Wow. Tell us a little bit about this school over here. It looks like y'all got 600, 700 people coming in town.
Yeah, somewhere along there, but it was about 500 already paid.
And Ronnie, you just signed a proclamation honoring the Trinity Grand Reunion this weekend. What all y'all got planned for this weekend, Jimmy?
We got a picnic and everything Friday at noon, and then Friday night they got to just get together, street dance. Then Saturday got the parade, come downtown, and then Saturday night we got a banquet at the event center.
Now, the parade was a good one 2 years ago, if I remember. The Athens band's participated. You just better be lucky that game day's over at 11 o'clock. It just barely gives me enough time to get up there, to shoot that. 11 o'clock downtown. Now, let's say, what if it rains? Well, what about these festivities?
If it rains, parade.
Bring an umbrella.
Parade be canceled.
Rain will be out here by then. There'll be another storm brewing that night in Dallas.
Hope so. But you know, the good thing.
How is renovation coming? What is y'all's ultimate plan with that school over there?
Renovation is coming along pretty good. They got the blueprints. Architect is finished with that. They got a phase 1 that they plan on doing and everything. And they have a render showing that at the event center. You got it set up. But it's coming along good. But this year's theme is a legacy not forgotten. And one thing I was telling, like last night at council meeting, we are having it. Everything is here. Everything is here. We purchased T-shirts here, purchased catering from here. All these dollars staying right here.
Right here.
Right here.
Right here.
That's surprising. I was just talking about those trees being on 31 over to already put forward. They got a company out of Pennsylvania cutting those trees down.
Yeah.
Ronnie, one last question before we get out of here, and both get polls on at 7 this morning.
Go vote.
What has it been like being the mayor of Athens for the 2 years you've been in there?
Well, it's been really a lot of fun. We've worked hard. We got a good team put together. It's pretty easy when you follow somebody really like after Dan's been there 18 years, and the department heads do a great job. We've been faced with a couple of things these 2 years that kind of hammered us, starting with tornadoes, and we had a police chief and a fire chief both retire. So we've had a lot on our plate for the last 20 months or so, but it's been challenging. It's been very rewarding, and we are so fortunate to live in a city like this where revenue streams up. If we finish the year right now, we would be, again, about $1.2 million revenue over expenditures. There's not many cities in the entire state of Alabama that can say that, and so we're proud to be here.
Well, good
Well, I know a
luck
lot of
today,
people-
and
yeah.
you taking it easy, aren't you?
Taking it easy.
Yeah, I guess-
Make a prediction.
I guess, well, hey, don't forget, let me remind y'all, y'all come on up Thursday, it's my birthday, bring a gift. Don't forget this Thursday, when Joe
You're
Jacker will be
pitiful.
cooking, Zach will be here all morning signing autographs out front of the
Pitiful.
station. Weather permitting, we'll be doing most of the program outside. It's a tailgate party, football kickoff season. It's been a turbulent off season for we football fans with everything happening, and now we just want to roll tide roll. So we got a lot of things going on. Auburn plays at 6 on ESPN against Clemson in the Chick-fil-A Bowl out of Atlanta. Saturday night, Tennessee plays North Carolina State at 6. Friday night, South Carolina plays at Nashville, weather permitting, on 6 o'clock on Thursday night. And Bama,
football.
we win another national championship. Y'all have fun in Dallas. Y'all think of me, Brian. We got to get out here for the day. We'll see y'all tomorrow with all the election results. See y'all.